Today we will be interviewing longtime Candle County resident Mrs. Polly Porter. From small town charm to modern day growth, let's learn some history of Candle County. Welcome, Mrs. Polly, and thank you for being here today. Can you tell us how long you have lived here in Candle County?
I have lived here 78 years.
Wow.
One of those years, I lived in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, on the beach. My husband came home from Vietnam and was stationed down there at an Air Force base, and we lived on the beach for a while.
That must have been really fantastic.
It was.
What was school like when you were young, and how do you think school has changed over the years?
I'm going to do the last part first.
Okay.
The only thing I know that hasn't changed is the school buses. They look the same. We may have a lot more now, but I started school at a 2-story schoolhouse on Verdia Street. It's still there. It's the Historical Society's now, and we have all kinds of history in there. One of the things there is I could walk home at lunch and eat lunch and take my shoes off and come back barefooted.
Oh my God, I wish we did that here.
And then I went from there on to school. I think it was smaller. The first grade was smaller and the second, and so on. And we did not associate with the other schools, the high school. There was no middle school. It was an elementary, and then it was a high school. And those are over off of Verdia Street also.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we were the Bulldogs. Instead of the Tigers, we were the Bulldogs. When we integrated, we took the colors from the white school, orange and black, and we took the mascot from the black school, which was Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
And so we became Orange and Black Tigers.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I had graduated the year before we started to integrate. But I taught the middle school in Metter for 28 years. And I taught a lot of mothers and grandmothers, girls only. And I was the first female coach in Metter.
Must have been an awesome job to do.
It was. That I wanted to coach basketball, and that's why I went to college, and I came home and got to coach.
Yeah.
Other integration is different. Now we don't, it went very smoothly. There were not any protests about integration. It just, and I'm glad. In fact, I taught over at the old black school for 18 years with no gym. But anyway, I'm talking about me, and we're here to talk about history. I think it's almost everything has changed except that there are students and there are teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about paddles. One other thing I wanted to point out was that every student didn't have a car. In fact,
Yeah.
I was fortunate I could walk to school, and I did walk to school until somebody in the 11th grade, till we got to 11th grade, and one of my friends got a car. And parents didn't take their kids to school. Either you rode the bus, well, some of them might have, but my mother didn't. rode the bus or you walked. Good, bad, or ugly. and I played basketball. No matter what it is, if you have the opportunity to get with a group, whether it's 4-H or band or chorus or basketball.
What was your house like when you were growing up, and how was it different from today?
Do you know where the courthouse is?
In,
Across from the park?
in Metairie?
Mm-hmm. I lived right in front of the courthouse. There's a brick house there. It's the first one from 46, and that is where I lived.
That is really cool to live in front of a courthouse.
So if you need to go to court, it would only take you a few seconds to go there.
Yeah.
That's right. And when we were little, young, 7th, 8th grade, when we got a television set. And then we were able to get a color TV that was not black and white. And several families would come over after church on Sunday and we'd watch color TV. And definitely cell phones and computers. I have to get my grandchildren, who were a little bit older than y'all, to show me how to work my phone sometimes.
I would have to do that to my nana too.
Really?
I was about to ask you a question like, were the cartoons black and white?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I clearly forgot if they were black and white.
That's a good question.
What historical events do you remember most from growing up?
When I was going over that question, in Metter, a historical event was, and this is not a good thing, someone's house caught on fire,
Oh no.
and the husband went in to find his daughter, and they both didn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
And that just devastated me. I had to sleep with my mother for a couple of nights.
Yeah.
I remember when President Kennedy got shot, and we had TVs at school. We were at school, and all of the 11th grade had to go in one room because we didn't have many TVs, and they were on top of a cart. The TVs were about this high, and we had to push a TV into that room. But that scared me too. I kind of felt like, what's going to happen now if the president got killed? But, yeah, it was. I remember the parade in Metter. In fact, my children, I led them on the pony in the parade. I remember the first walk on the moon when that happened, and also when that spaceship exploded and the people got killed. And one was the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember the astronaut saying that first walked on the moon. I was trying to think of it.
What are some like United States of whole entire United States, all of the 50 states?
There were 48 when I
Oh,
was growing up.
do you remember any things for the all of the USA or something? Like some historical events that were not just in Meadow, just in the USA?
I do. I remember there was a bombing in Oklahoma.
No.
That whole building was just about blown up, and it was terrible. What else do I remember? I remember when Alaska and Hawaii became states. Those were the two that were added on. I can't remember the astronaut's name.
I don't remember
Louis
either.
Armstrong? The one who landed on the moon?
The first one, it comes in and goes out of my brain, I think.
Armstrong.
Yeah, Louis
Yes,
Armstrong.
that's right. Good for you.
What do kids have today that you wish you had when you were younger?
I tell you what I want to say, but it's a little bit on the sad. It's parents. My parents died when I was young, so but I think you have more opportunity to do things, different groups to belong to at school and different sports. And, I love my childhood.
I do too.
Enjoy it, don't rush it.
Yeah. What traditions did you have as a kid that you liked the most? Are there any traditions that have disappeared that you miss?
Going to the show, picture show in Matter. She mentioned y'all saw many pictures of the picture show, we called it. Riding bicycles, we went everywhere on our bicycles.
I'm trying to learn how to ride, just ride my bicycle.
I think I wish more children would. You know, my grandchildren learned, but they didn't ride very far.
I'm gonna start riding my bicycle like on concrete
Mhm.
and just start riding it everywhere I want to.
I think it's good exercise.
What movies did you like to watch, or what kind of
Roy
movies?
Rogers. Y'all know who Roy Rogers is? I like to watch cowboys. There weren't many cowgirls. There was Annie Oakley. She was in movies, a lady that was a cowgirl. But those are the ones. I love horses. I always have loved horses.
I really want to learn how to ride a horse one day.
Good.
I've ridden horses before. It's really fun.
You liked it. Good. Good.
What advice would you give kids today?
Enjoy being a kid. Don't try to grow up too quick.
When you were a kid, you want to be an adult. When you were an adult, you want to be a kid again.
We never satisfied, are we? I've been retired from teaching. After I retired from teaching, I went to work at the pool store in Meadow. B&M Pools. It's at the end of the parks. And I worked there 20 years.
It's a long time.
So I've worked 48 years. And my comment is, I ain't working no more. But I feel fortunate. I'm glad I grew up in a small town. I love Matter.
Thank you for being here today, Miss Polly. We have learned so much about the past from you, and we know other kids will too.
Thank you for being here, Miss Polly.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
I would love to come back sometime. And I feel honored that you've asked me. I could talk about Matter for a long time.